I stood there on the stage, diploma in my hand, smiling for the camera like everything was perfect. But inside, my chest felt tight. I scanned the crowd one more time. Row after row of proud parents, siblings, and friends cheering loudly. My seat? Empty. No mom, no dad, no brother or sister. Not a single person from my family showed up. The announcer called my name, and the applause from strangers felt hollow. I walked across that stage alone. My hands shook as I took the diploma. All those years of late nights, early mornings, juggling 2 jobs just to pay for books and rent. All the times I pushed through exhaustion and doubt. This moment was supposed to mean something. It was supposed to be ours. But they didn't come. I kept checking my phone between photos. No calls, no texts. No, we're running late. Nothing, just silence. The same silence I had felt for years whenever I needed them most. Later that evening, I drove home by myself. The excitement I waited for my whole life turned into a heavy, quiet ache. I thought that was the worst part. I was wrong. 3 weeks later, my phone rang. It was Dad. His voice came through calm like nothing had happened. No apology, no questions about my graduation. He got straight to the point. We need $8,000. You have to help us out. Just like that, no hello, no how are you, no sorry we missed your big day. My stomach dropped. $8,000 after everything. I stood frozen in my small apartment, staring at the wall, wondering how we got here. How the people who were supposed to love me the most could skip the most important day of my life and then turn around and demand money like it was nothing. And that was only the beginning. Growing up, I never really felt like I belonged in my own family. I was the middle child, the quiet one who always tried harder but got noticed less. While my younger sister got new clothes, gadgets, and constant praise, I learned early on how to make things work with whatever I had. From high school onward, everything fell on me. My parents made it clear they couldn't help much with college, so I worked 2 part-time jobs while carrying a full course load. Mornings at a coffee shop, evenings at a warehouse loading boxes until my back ached. I studied late into the night with cheap coffee and sheer willpower. Many times I wanted to quit, but I kept going. There were months I ate instant noodles just to save every extra dollar for tuition. I skipped parties, trips, even basic fun because I knew this degree was my only real shot at a better life. Sleep became a luxury. Friends slowly faded away because I was always busy or broke. Still, I pushed through 4 long years of exhaustion and stress. At home, things stayed the same. My sister's every achievement turned into a big celebration, new phone for good grades, family dinners for her promotions. When I made the dean's list twice, no one even mentioned it at the dinner table. My parents always had an excuse. We're too busy, or you're independent, you don't need us there. I paid for every textbook, every lab fee, and every bus ride myself. No family trips to help me move into dorms. No surprise care packages. Just me, grinding alone, determined to finish what I started. This graduation wasn't just a ceremony for me. It was proof that all those lonely nights and sacrifices actually mattered. It was the moment I had dreamed about for years, finally standing tall after doing it all on my own. But on that day, the seats reserved for my family stayed empty. The morning of graduation, I woke up early with nervous energy. I checked my phone hoping for a good luck message from my parents. Nothing. I told myself they were probably just running late and would surprise me at the venue. I put on my cap and gown, looked in the mirror, and felt a spark of pride. Today was finally my day. When I reached the hall, the place was packed with excited families. I found my assigned row and kept glancing toward the entrance. The seats I had reserved for my family stayed empty as the ceremony started. I kept hoping. Maybe they got stuck in traffic. Maybe they were saving the front row or something. But as names were called and students walked across the stage, those seats remained blank. When my name echoed through the speakers, I stood up alone. My legs felt heavy. I walked that stage with a forced smile while my heart was breaking inside. No cheers from my family. No proud faces in the crowd. Just polite claps from strangers. After the ceremony, everyone took photos with their loved ones. I stood there awkwardly, holding my diploma, pretending to look at my phone. A classmate offered to take my picture. I smiled for the camera, but it felt empty. No hugs, No flowers, no one saying we're so proud of you. The drive home was quiet. The excitement I carried for weeks had completely vanished. I kept replaying the moment in my head, scanning the crowd, hoping to spot them, and feeling smaller with every passing second. That night, my apartment felt colder than usual. I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at the diploma on the table. No calls came, no texts, no explanations, just silence. The kind of silence that made me question everything I thought I knew about my family. 3 weeks had passed since graduation. I was finally starting to settle back into my routine when my phone rang. It was Dad. I stared at the screen for a second before picking up. Part of me still hoped he would say something about the ceremony. "Hey," I answered. He didn't waste any time. His voice came through strong and direct, like we were talking about the weather. "Listen, we need $8,000. You have to send it over soon." I stood there in my tiny kitchen, completely frozen. $8,000. The words hung in the air. I waited for him to mention my graduation, maybe apologize, maybe even ask how I was doing. But none of that came. He kept talking. "Your sister's wedding is coming up fast. We've got a lot of extra costs. The venue deposit, catering, and some other things. We're short right now. You're working now, so you can help." No sorry, no congratulations. Not even a simple "how was your big day?" Just straight to the money. My grip tightened on the phone. Heat rose in my chest. I thought about all the nights I ate cheap food to save money. All the times I covered my own tuition while they threw parties for my sister's smaller achievements. And now, after skipping the one day that meant everything to me, he was demanding $8,000 like it was owed to him. He continued, "Don't make this difficult. Family helps family. We'll pay you back when we can." His tone made it sound so normal, so expected, like my hard work belonged to them, like my feelings didn't matter at all. I opened my mouth, but the words got stuck. Shock mixed with anger flooded through me as I stood there, trying to process what was happening. I took a deep breath and finally spoke. "Dad, you didn't even come to my graduation." The line went quiet for a second. Then he answered quickly, "We were busy that day. Your sister had things going on. Why are you bringing this up now?" His words hit me hard. I felt my voice shake, but I kept going. I stood there completely alone. No one showed up. Not you, not Mom, not anyone. I worked for years to make that day happen, and you couldn't even send a text. Now you're calling me for $8,000 like nothing happened. He raised his voice. "This is about family. Your sister needs this wedding. Are you really going to be selfish right now, after everything we've done for you?" I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Everything you've done for me? I paid for my own college. I worked 2 jobs while you celebrated every small thing my sister did. I never asked you for money. But the one time I wanted you there, you were." The argument got heated. He called me ungrateful. Mom jumped on the call and started guilt-tripping me, saying blood is thicker than water and that family always helps each other. They made it sound like I owed them the money just for being their child. I stood there, heart pounding. Part of me wanted to give in just to stop the yelling. But another part, a stronger part, finally woke up. I had spent years shrinking myself for them, not anymore. "No," I said firmly. "I'm not sending the money, not 8,000, not even 800. I need to focus on my own life now." Dad got angry. He said some harsh things before hanging up. The silence after the call felt different this time. Heavy, but also freeing. I sat down, hands still shaking, realizing I had just crossed a line I couldn't uncross. The days after that phone call felt strange. Dad didn't call again for a while. Mom sent a few messages saying I was breaking the family apart. My sister even texted once, calling me selfish. I read the messages but didn't reply. For the first time, I chose silence on purpose. Life slowly started to feel lighter. I focused on my new job and paid my own bills without guilt. I finally bought some furniture for my apartment and even took a small trip on my own. Small things that felt big because they were mine. No more waiting for approval or saving money for family emergencies that weren't really mine to fix. The anger faded after some time. What stayed was a clear understanding. I realized I had spent years chasing their love by doing more and asking for less. But love shouldn't come with a price tag or constant sacrifice. Family is supposed to lift you up, not only reach out when they need something. I started spending time with friends who actually showed up for me, people who celebrated my wins without expecting payback. I learned that it's okay to set boundaries, even with parents. It's okay to say no when something doesn't feel right. Protecting my peace isn't selfish, it's necessary. Looking back, that graduation day and the money demand became a turning point. They showed me who I was dealing with and who I wanted to become. I stopped shrinking myself to fit into their picture. Instead, I began building my own life, one quiet decision at a time. Some nights I still feel the old sadness creep in, but most days I feel stronger, clearer, more in control of my own path. That decision changed everything for me. The family still talks behind my back. Some relatives call me cold, but I sleep better at night knowing I finally chose myself. The weight I carried for years started to lift. I no longer feel anxious every time my phone rings. I no longer question my worth when they stay silent. If you're watching this and you've been through something similar, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not selfish for protecting your peace. You are not ungrateful for refusing to be used. Blood doesn't give anyone the right to hurt you repeatedly and then demand more. Real love doesn't skip your biggest moments and then show up with an open hand. You deserve people who celebrate you, support you, and respect your boundaries. Sometimes that means creating distance from the ones who raised you, and that's okay. It doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you someone who is finally growing. I'm still building my life step by step. The road isn't perfect, but it feels honest. Every day I become a little stronger, a little freer, and I truly believe you can do the same. If this story hit home for you, drop a comment below. Tell me what you would have done in my situation. Share your own experiences. You're not alone in this. Your story might help someone else feel seen. If you want more real stories about family struggles, setting boundaries, and choosing yourself, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I read every comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself out there.